Ani Buju, Melissa Keyswater, and Dishna Kaz, Petoskey, Michigan, and Donjaba, Lance and Dinda, Jaganash Kwe, Ogamakwe. So I am the new president of KBOCC. I am a non-native female, consider myself from Petoskey, Michigan, and now a resident of Lance. So I am very grateful to be here and meet you all and support Robin and the work that we can do to partner with all of you. And as Robin said, I just came on in December of 25 and was here for a couple of weeks, and then we had break, and now we've had all these snow days, and everyone kept saying, oh, Melissa, it's, this is not typical. Like our winter last year wasn't like this. This is not usually how much snow we get. It wasn't like this before. This isn't as cold. Like this is much colder than we normally get. I keep getting all these little excuses. I'm kind of at the point where I am just, if someone says, really, this is not typical. I'm kind of like, well, I've been thrown into a lawn asparagus winter. And I don't know that much will be harder to transition into after this. I think I'm good. I think I've gotten the practice, and we are getting accustomed, certainly from northern Michigan. So we're a little bit used to the weather, but this is quite something. But I think everyone's saying the same thing. This is not unusual.
That was part of our pitch to get her up here. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
That's it too.
I know, right? They were like, we only plowed our drives maybe 5 times last year. I think I plowed 5 times last week.
Yes.
So it's okay. It's absolutely worth it. My background is in higher education, along with a path in tribal education, worked for the Wabanaki-Singodawa, also known as the Little Traverse Bay Bands of Odawa Indians, who are situated in the Petoskey Harbor Springs region. So I actually come from a very similar bay where we have 2 beautiful towns on either side of the bay. And there's a lot of collaboration amongst those communities, which I feel like I kind of entered the space and it was very similar. Interestingly enough, where we are currently staying right now is at the very tip of the bay. And it reminds me very much of where the Petoskey State Park is when you think about the tip of Little Traverse Bay. So I kind of am used to this, like, drive around the bay and get to the other community or do your shopping or what have you. So very much of it feels like home already. And that's a really wonderful thing to be able to say after just a couple of months. I have been asked a number of times, like, why KBOCC, why Baraga Lance? And my answer has been pretty steadfast. In my previous work as a tribal liaison for state government, I had been up here a number of times for different projects. And every time I left with my heart, my spirit, and my belly full. We'd get in the car and make our 5 or 9 hour drive back and just really reflect on just how amazing the community was, and what the warmth and the hospitality, and particularly when you are visiting out at Ziba Hall or any of the places where the tribal leaders and the tribal elders are, there was always a feast, and we always left just in this space of breaking bread and fellowship with our colleagues and with friends. And it was almost a tangible feeling every time I left. Like, how could I capture this and take it with me? Because it was just so impactful, how I felt every time I left this community. And so to come back did not feel like a huge transition. It didn't feel like this unknown, right? I was like, I'm coming in and I think I can hit the ground running, and I have an amazing team. The board has been incredibly supportive. I have students that I love seeing in the halls every day. And again, just a team that was so ready and willing and energetic for, I wouldn't say change in the sense that this wasn't, the president's coming in and doing this big overhaul. Like, we're not coming in and making massive changes, but we are excited for growth. We are excited for some transitions. We are excited for where we're going to go. And I want to do that informed with everyone. Like, I want people at the table. So if you all can be at the table, if there's opportunities that we can talk about how we collaborate, how we partner, how we coexist in these spaces for the betterment of everyone in the entire community, I want to do that. And so however that is possible, whether it is through Robin, whether it's engaging students, whether it's having us be present on boards or committees, or you being present on ours, and engaging maybe if we are looking at some stakeholder feedback, please engage in those processes. We have a lot happening here. There are a lot of positions open. We are making some slight changes in our structure here, which has meant more jobs, and we're excited about that. But also know that in a community of this size, an internal transition means the domino effect. Every time someone moves in a job, that leaves another job vacant, right? So we're experiencing that too, and looking at what our workforce pool is to draw from, and those are challenges, and I'm sure we are all probably experiencing that in some ways. But we're excited for our positions that are open. We're excited for some things around some long-term planning, like some facilities master planning, thinking about our space and our infrastructure. We're talking about our strategic plan. This is also our accreditation year. So for those of you that might be familiar with higher ed accreditation, this is a really big year for us. October is kind of, so I came in, and I will tell you, I think even before I came in on my very first day, the interim president and dean had already populated my calendar with all of the accreditation things, and I was just getting ping, 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 like these are all the meetings. It's a big year. So there's nothing like coming in and having to complete a strategic plan, an accreditation, and a facilities master plan all in one fell swoop before the end of 26. But we can do it. I'm really confident. And again, we just have made an amazing team, and it is an amazing community, and I'm grateful that you're here. And if there's anything in any way that I can kind of put the college forth as a partner, as a support system in whatever you might do, or it's using our facilities, partnering on any kind of accreditation or certificate programs, academic programs. I say to the staff every day, think outside the box and be creative. So I'm never opposed to new ideas. I definitely want to explore them with our community members and our partners. So Miigwech, thank you for being here and supporting all of the amazing work that you're doing. And is there anything else that you would need from me or?
No, I would just like to go around and have some of you introduce yourself.
Lovely.
Formally, just so we all can get to know each other, because I know some of us have never been in the same room together.
Okay, yeah, wonderful.
So my name is Erica Huss. I'm the program manager for the Hub. The Hub is actually funded through a federal grant. It's a 3-year program that was put in place through the federal government, and then the state of Michigan contracted with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation to roll it out to businesses throughout Michigan. There's actually 27 hubs in Michigan. We are one of 3 in the UP. We cover the Central UP, and we cover Baraga, Alger, Delta, Dickinson, Menominee, Marquette, and Schoolcraft counties. Wow. What that means is that we had grant funding that we were able to roll out to businesses. We had 4 windows, and our last one finished up at the end of the year. That is now, those awards have been made. So we don't have any direct grant funding right now, but we do have the programs that we've partnered with others for. For one of the first things we did was partner with the SBDC and Accelerate UP to hire small business resource navigators. We call them navigators. Basically, they're a business development specialist. They're responsible for knowing what all of the resources are in your community and helping connect you with those resources, as well as with additional resources that we have by virtue of our funding, one of which you're going to hear a little bit about, NMU Wildcat Consulting. We will also soon have an Entrepreneurial Fellows, which is a startup program for startup businesses through MTU. We also have financial assistance for entity formation for brand new businesses starting through our partners at Innovate Marquette Smart Zone. So we also have Placer AI, which can give you cell phone data, tracking data that can tell you about patterns of people spending, how much time they're spending at your storefront or in your local business district, where they came from, where they're going once they leave your area of business, to help businesses be able to plan for things. So that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg, and that's what Robin can help connect people with once they sign up. And all they need to do is sign up is connect with our hub. We are at marquette.org/the hub. And There's an intake form in the center of the page that says get connected. Once people fill out the intake form, we get back with them and start working with them right away.
Thank you, Erica. There.
My name is Jared Hockmuth. I am also a resource navigator, similar to Robin. I actually work for the Small Business Association of Michigan. We're a statewide business member organization. We're actually the largest small business member organization in the country. We have over 33,000 members across the state, across all industries. So I am the Hub's second stage business navigator. So I work exclusively with established businesses, generally that have been around for 2, 3, 4 years, and they've got maybe 10 plus employees. They're approaching $1 million in revenue. That's kind of my bread and butter. So once a business is established, they've been around for a while and they're ready to grow. That's kind of where I come in. I can help connect with a lot of the same resources through the Hub or SBDC, but through SBAM, we also have access to online courses and webinars. Our team's actually working on launching a on-demand SBAM Academy that will have completely free for our grant participants as well. That's going to have access to a bunch of different business courses completely free. So that's a really exciting opportunity. And again, we have direct grants similar to the Hub. Ours have all been already awarded at this point, but we still have a lot of resources available. So happy to chat with anyone about that.
And the difference between, so we contracted with SBAM, our hub and their hub, to basically get Jared up here in the Upper Peninsula to serve Saxon State businesses here. Now, he's not limited to the counties that we serve. He serves the entire Upper Peninsula.
Gotcha.
And if you've been watching the news, just in the last day or two here, they did announce that our Small Business Support Hub program is going to be continuing with state funding rather than federal funding. Now, not everything that we do is guaranteed to continue. We'll have to apply for it. They will put our application process out, information about it out in March. And then the applications will go in between April and June. We are very excited about it, and also we really think we have an excellent shot of having our program continue with that funding for another year. But again, it'll be state funding rather than federal, so we won't have quite as many requirements. And that would, I know that I'm saying we're excited and hopeful. I'm sure SBM is as well, because their hub is statewide and they have done some amazing things. The programs that they have available are pretty cool too.
Thanks, Erica.
Next.
Looks like your TV just shut off, I think, out of inactivity, maybe.
Oh. Yeah. I'm talking, what are you doing?
I don't know. I let you down. I let you down, man.
Must.
I think the Zoom is still going though, so we
Yeah,
can probably
yeah.
continue with our introductions while we
why
get
don't you go
the
first,
rolling
Alex?
again.
If you just want to give a brief introduction to yourself and let us know who you are and why you're
I'm
here.
Sam Chosa. I'm a KBOCC student studying business administration. I'm just happy to soak up all the information, connect with everybody.
He's also my son, I don't mean to brag.
So my name is Sergey Blackwood, and I'm currently the program lead for Wildcat Consulting and soon to be project manager through the Entrepreneurial Fellows program that we're starting up. And I'm also currently interning with Invest U.P. So Wildcat Consulting, Erica briefly described, and I'm not going to spoil further because we have a few slides on it, but it's, we provide boots on the ground consulting services to eligible small businesses, and we do things like marketing plans. And we use the student talent from NMU to be able to give students experience with creating these stuff things, and at the same time being able to help the small businesses.
I'm Dr. Bodman, Corey Bodman. I teach him. I used to teach him. I'm the entrepreneurship professor at Northern, and my focus is on new business startups, basically commercialization of high technology. We work very closely with Michigan Tech. They're lying to you. I've been up here for 25 years. This is the snow we're supposed to be getting. We've been through global warming, and now we're getting back, at least for a couple of years, our snow that we deserve. Anyways, I start out with a class that teaches students how to start a business, staying under the tax radar. At the end of the semester, they liquidate their businesses and donate their money to charity. And then we go from there to customer discovery, business model development, that type of thing. So I'm actually his chauffeur, for all intents and purposes. But I represent with Sergi Northern Michigan in the Wildcat Consulting Program.
Awesome. I am Shayla Emblad. I'm a student here at KBOCC. I am also student government vice president here at KBOCC. I'm just here to get some good information. I also work at Superior National Bank. And my parents, they own their own small businesses, so
Okay.
hopefully give me some information that I can share with them to help them out.
Perfect.
She's also, what did you run?
My name's Tony Magnet, and I'm a student here at KBOCC, and I'm studying for business administration. I'll have my associates this fall. I'm hoping to transfer and reach out to my bachelor's. And just networking and learning the ins and outs and the definitions and seeing how the structure and the components work together is just what I'm kind of intrigued on. So thank you for letting me join and participate.
Also, don't mean to brag, but Tony has just been voted in as our KBOCC Student of the Year.
I'm glad I feel like he got the heat, bro.
Yep.
I feel the heat, Robert. You got me, bro. Got me, man. I feel the heat.
Giving him plugs.
Good looking out, man.
And then who's online?
Robert, Bobby, you wanna introduce yourself? You don't have to video, man, you can just talk.
Are you there?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody. I'm Bobby Johnson. I'm a entrepreneur. Started out with basically a boxing club. Started meeting people and got into retail. I retail fireworks right now, and I'm looking to retail more home goods and clothing and apparel.
Yeah, Bobby is one of our Hannibal community members, and he is a hub participant so far.
Oh,
As
sorry.
you can
Yep,
make.
got that part. Sorry about that.
Rhonda.
Okay, I'm Rhonda Noctigal. I'm the business department chair at KBOCC. Those are some of my favorite students, like I said, with Tony, Shayla, and Sam. And I am working with Dr. Bodeman and NMU and seeing how we can
Integrate?
brain fog. We can work together. And Robin has been so graciously helping me with the hub and what I can do to help assist the community of Lance and Baraga and my students as we grow the program for KBOCC as well. Because I'm new to the position, but I just started in August, so I only have a couple of months ahead of Melissa.
And she came on as our business chair like very, very quickly. So we're thankful for her to show up for that. Okay, so yeah, we'll do this. This one's a little about us. You gonna head out, Melissa?
No, I'm just gonna step
Okay,
back.
grab some food.
I don't know that we have to do this one.
No, yeah, this is just me. Well, we mug from DC. Tony probably remembers.
You look very stern.
It was a long trip. So they just have time. This is about 7 hours in, sitting on a conference, listening to a bunch of political people speak. But yes, I've been a navigator here for a couple of years. A lot of you are familiar with me, Sergey and Corey. The first time I got this in the room with you guys, you guys met my counterparts. Erica touched on a lot of the hub and what we do. We work a lot with states, Michigan's. This is our service area in case you needed a map for it. These are all the partners that we have in our program for the hub. All of these entities kind of got together and they have an advisory council which advises us, Erica, on what we should do and where we're at. Intake form, grant guidelines, we're not sure if we're gonna have any grant money like it's in our.
If we are awarded
Mhm.
and the new small business support hub program.
Yep.
There will be direct monies available for
Yeah,
businesses.
I mean, we got an email about that, so it's in the state government's hands right now. I watched the state of the state address with Governor Whitner yesterday, and we're hopeful. you know, I mean, this has been a very awesome program and we've helped, I don't even know how many businesses with grants and assistance and 74. But our total list of all grantees, or we're up and over like what, between 300 and 400 businesses that have signed up for services through our program.
500.
500 now? Wow. I must be out of the loop.
We're also counties.
Yeah. This is a Central UP Small Business Hub, lscpmarquette.org if you want to learn more information. We don't really need any questions, not yet, but this is part of Rhonda's part for KBOCC and entrepreneurs. We wanted to touch on, to get to that. Where is the slideshow put on this one?
On the top.
It's the bottom right, it's the little, it looks like an easel just to the left of the scale bar, that one.
Aha. See, everybody works together.
Go team.
Right, this is the Small Business Startup Certificate, which is a program that the board approved a few years ago. We thought it's very important to us that not everybody wants to come out and get a 2-year degree. I mean, especially for small businesses. A lot of entrepreneurs, you know, don't really want to go for a 2-year to 4-year degree, which is more for business administration. People that don't really touch business plans and just kind of want to, you know, get their feet wet in like higher up in the banking world, or, you know, wearing your suit and tie. Tony, where's that at today?
Out of the fines, I'm all right.
Yeah, like I said, you guys are going for the 2-year degree, right?
Yes.
And Sam, you're on the small business certificate. Rhonda, how many people do you actually have in the business program so far?
Right now I want to say we have 33. I know we are graduating 3 in the business degrees this year in the spring that will have
Nice.
associates.
I
So,
know and last year we had our very first totally online business administration 2-year degree graduate. So she took her classes totally online. So that's another option in case people out there don't want to travel up here. Obviously, roads are an issue, but a lot of these classes are available online. I know, Sam, you wanted to take a lot of classes online at first too, right?
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Then he met Tony and he wants to come every day.
No, it's nice, Sam. Come on, Sam.
Yeah. But this is a good resource for small businesses, entrepreneurs everywhere. I mean, we all could use a little help along with, you know, connecting all the resources. This just gets you a kind of little more in-depth look on everything. I mean, navigators like myself, like Jared, we can kind of hit on a little bit of everything. We're like jack of all trades, masters of none, kind of pretty much are what we've been. But we can also hook you up with all the other resources that we see through all our partners. However, the small business startup certificate can lead into a lot bigger world and open up some more opportunities, and education is, you know, we're all about educating our business owners and making sure that we all succeed. Anything you want to add to that, Rhonda?
no, I was just gonna say, being entrepreneurs, you know, you're always gonna have to pivot because you never know what's coming at you next. And so these classes right here, if you take this for the certificate purposes, they all will allow you to pivot to other areas. And like I always say, once you have education, no one can take that away from you, no matter what happens in life. It's yours. It's yours. You can't lose that. So that's always a good thing.
It is. I believe I was the first male business administration graduate back in 2007, I believe, from KBOCC.
sounds boring.
Wow.
Thanks for aging me. Certificate is 16 credits. All of our credits do transfer. I can attest to that myself. To Northern, to MTU. So transferring is not an issue here. We are partners with state of Michigan for make sure all of our credits do transfer every single place that you may possibly go. When I was gonna go to tech for my business program, they were gonna take about 76 of my credits, which I would have started out as a junior right away. So that's very, very useful for people. Let me see, what do you want to say about this part there, Rhonda? The lean canvas?
So, and I know Corey can attest to this too. Things are changing in the business world. So you may have thought, business plans are what you may have had to write at one time. We're moving towards the lean canvas model, and you want to use the lean canvas. This one here is more for entrepreneurs because it allows them to pivot quickly, to change, to make adjustments as they're moving with their changes. And so we use this canvas as our dashboard for students in Intro to Business. And then they continue to use it along the way, and it becomes part of like their capstone, you could say, for if they're going on to pursue their associates. And that's just what I was going to say, how we're changing. But if you are in the certificate program and you are an entrepreneur and you're going to apply for that loan or even work with you at the hub, I'm sure you have them put together a lean canvas model, because I know the SBDC has had businesses put together some form of a model like this. So it's already put together for you through our classes. And that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you, Rhonda. And I know like probably, because this is very fairly new, this whole lean canvas thing. And Alex was one of our partners through Accelerate, and Daniel from SBDC have been training us navigators on how to use this, and they've kind of put it to practical use for us in our meeting. So as us navigators are in classes, we are still learning about the lean canvas. And
Can I ask a question? Do you know the difference between a lean canvas and a traditional business model canvas? There are two flavors of canvases out there, and I promote the lean canvas because it's customer centered. It's customer. Say that, Rhonda, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're right, Corey, because it's customer orientated and it's better for entrepreneurs. Other research I had found was like the lean canvas is what entrepreneurs should be using, whereas the other, the business model canvas is for a more established business.
And it's product centric. And the reason you this, all right, here comes the professor. The reason you want to use this is because you're still identifying your customer. So you want to be customer centric. If you go to a bank, you're still going to need a pro formas. You're still going to need your numbers. You're going to need to show them how much you're making, your break evens, your profit and loss, that type of thing. But this is in lieu of a 30-page plan. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine, because you're up next to
and I agree with Corey on that. And like the financials, that's what I was going to say. This does not include any of that, but those are things you'd have to take with you. But this is that 30-page plan, like she said, and it definitely is more customer orientated because as a new business, you are still defining that target market. You have your idea, you have your research, you have everything, but you're always tweaking it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And business is always changing, as you can see. We're using different models coming up to kind of piggyback on that for the financial projection part. The hub, we use what is called Live Plan. It is a very, very in-depth program to help you run business plans and especially financial projections. SBDC and a lot of our other partners are able to get with you, work with financial projections, and kind of get your ideas down on paper. And I just spoke with Alana before he came here, and she had another event. She's one of my counterparts that worked for Delta County. She had a lender come to her event yesterday, and they spoke to her about if we had entrepreneurs coming to us using Live Plan and things such as Lean Canvas, they would be more than wholeheartedly throw out loans easier than it would be with a 30-page business plan.
And in fact, the lenders that were there it was a group from Limestone
Mhm.
Federal Credit Union. They asked us to provide them the information on the live business plan because they've been using spreadsheets.
Mhm.
And so they want to basically trial use and that they will probably adopt that platform for themselves and the businesses they work with. Yes,
Cory.
Any chance I can get hands on that for my 200 level class?
probably. We'll talk afterwards.
Okay, that would be awesome because my students start businesses in my 200 level class. They start businesses, they run them. They make profits, they have to get a bank account, they have to get a DBA, they have to do the whole shoot and match.
Yep.
They create a product, they sell it, and at the end of the semester, because the semester's over, they shut down their business. But we just had one of the controllers for Northern come in and show them how to do a basic spreadsheet. Because we
Right.
need to teach them how to do accounting. Can we talk?
We can talk. So essentially what we told that lender yesterday is that we could give them temporary access.
Yes.
So they could test it out
Yeah.
and determine whether they wanted to purchase that plan for themselves.
Yes, and any person that signs up through the hub and works through me is able, I can give you access to a live plan as well. So you can go in there, monkey with it, play with it. I've had my own Res Robins on there, just playing with numbers, showing people how to use it. Projections, it's an awesome tool. I mean, it does use a lot of AI if you want to choose, or you do not have to use AI either.
The other thing is yesterday, the session that we had yesterday that we were talking about that the banks were there and asked for that information was because Daniel Yoder of SBDC was our presenter and he in the presentation, we basically gave him the information about a barber shop and everything we might need. And he punched it into the live plan and came up with what our projections were for monthly, yearly, what our expenses would be, what our income would be, and whether or not it was a workable plan. That was recorded yesterday, and should be up on our website probably by early next week.
Yeah.
So that people can go in and, review the video and, of that session and learn a little bit more about live plan that way.
A lot of these training sessions that we do are on our website, on LSCP website, or available by, I could just send it to you. Like I said, I've spoke to a couple of CTE classes for students. I've spoken to your guys' classes here at the college, so if you guys want to sign up for the program, you know, just let me know. I spoke to you about live plan before about what we use, so if you're interested, there's a QR code right there, Tony. Get on it, and come on. You could even throw the Pines information in there and be like, is the Pines really making us money?
You know, I am, yeah. You know, I will, especially with AI backing me.
And I'll have you all analyzing every travel business around to see if they're actually making us money.
Well, you know, no.
But that's what I like too, is like if you're a small business owner and you have a product, what LivePlan do, well, you can create projections based on the price per unit. And you will see if you're actually making money or not. And that was a really helpful tool for me when I started. And I'm like, man, now I'm gonna need to raise prices on my Indian tacos again. Bust
What
out.
was the pizza prices?
Oh, for you, Shayla, still $10. This is just a quote that Rhonda put out there. The power of entrepreneurship comes from their skill to adjust, to create new ideas and flourish even though when things are uncertain.
You got that right, sister.
Mhm. Okay, so I would like to hand it off to Sergi. Did you send me your?
Yeah, I sent
you, Bobby?
It's a Canva link, so hopefully it'll work.
And if you were following along on your computer too, you can, we have it set up so you could go right from your computer, whichever way you wanna go.
Well,
Fine, I'll just tap there.
bad. Come sit down, cause I can learn something now too.
Oh dear.
You can teach an old dog new tricks, hard.
He's thinking the same thing.
I'm living proof.
So I'll give a little bit of an introduction to Wildcat Consulting, specifically go through the service that we can provide, the different deliverables that we can create. And like Erica mentioned, so Wildcat Consulting is a partnership between the Central U.P Support Hub and NMU's College of Business, wherein we are providing no-cost, high-impact consulting services to eligible small businesses, which is pretty much all small businesses in the Central U.P, as long as you go through the proper means, which is the JOT form that we'll touch on the next slide, I believe. But our mission is both to promote the success of small businesses in the central 7 counties, while at the same time being able to give students opportunities to increase their skill sets and to work with real businesses, potentially even get opportunities to get jobs with those same businesses in the future. So this is the eligibility requirements. I'll just quickly go over this because we mentioned this, but this is again that same QR code for the intake form to the hub, or you can get connected with Robin and he will let you know how to go through the proper steps. And then you can just mention, I'd like to get connected with Wildcat Consulting. And we can set up initial consultation, go over your current business state and see whether any of our services would be valuable to you. And then from there, we will proceed that way. So this is some of our services. So first, starting with business plan, this is business planning and strategy. We can create a business model canvas or a lean canvas for you through Wildcat Consulting. And like Rhonda mentioned, it's used to clearly communicate ideas to stakeholders. It's very flexible. It allows for you to easily pivot and without writing up a 30 page business plan that will be useless or outdated as soon as it comes out of the printing press. So then we can do things like market research and competitive analysis. So whether it's general industry to see what the trends in the industry are, whether the industry is shrinking or growing, do a strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. And we can also do competitive analysis in terms of both direct competition, and because the nature of the businesses here in the UP, you probably know a lot of your direct competition. So we a lot of the time focus on indirect competitors, which means we're focusing on what are people going to do if they're not going for your business. So for example, what would be a good example here?
The bar, Cognition and
Oh, yeah.
Main Street,
Mhm.
or Third Street Grill.
Yeah, so for example, Cognition, it's Cognition Brewery. It's a brewery in Marquette. So the direct competition is other breweries, but they're also competing with all types of other places where you can just get a drink. They're also Third Street Grill inside. They're competing not just with grill places, they're competing with fast food places, places that will have them on speed at price, and also they're competing with restaurants. So based on these findings that we get, we're able to tell you how to competitively position yourself against these competitors, whether you have to be cheaper, more expensive than them, how you have to communicate to your potential clients about why they should choose you over a potential other solution. And then growth and scaling strategy. So we can help you figure out a strategic roadmap for market expansion, identifying growth opportunities and potential pivots, whether this is in case of a report or just a strategic brainstorming conversation. And one of our newer services that we're experimenting with is automation and software solutions research, because we found out that a lot of small businesses, they don't have the capacity to necessarily put hours of research into different solutions out there. So if you know there's must be a better way to handle something, like for example, if you're using Excel for your finances, but you don't want to switch to QuickBooks, but you want to find a middle ground for something else, we can help with that. Things like inventory management systems, social media platform, pretty much anything that you don't have the capacity to really spend hours researching yourself, we can assign our consultants to do that research for you. And that way we can also tailor this in case you're looking for something free, something cheaper. We can rank these alternatives based on what you will find most useful. And then I briefly mentioned inventory management. That's also part of the automation and software solutions research, but we can also help you actually set up a system, create an Excel spreadsheet or some system that will let you handle your inventory management, hiring, onboarding, documentation. So this is something we haven't done of as much because there has been as much need for it, but that's something we have consultants who know HR things, so they can help you write up an employee handbook, job posting information, or connect you to a partner. Next is sales and customer relations. So sales strategy and training, figuring out the sales funnel, and also customer service support, figuring out what are the post-sale retention strategies that are focused on the service quality and customer experience. And another thing that's not on here is the fact that we do customer discovery a lot for customers. So that's primary research. We send out our team of designated customer discovery consultants to be able to conduct interviews with potential customers and see what people care about and what keywords keep repeating, so that you know how to potentially market your business to these people, and really what they really care about, what they don't care about, and how to directly serve your customer. Now, a lot of what we do is marketing and branding, and now we have a full marketing team, so we're able to do things like create full-on marketing plans, figure out social media strategies, as well as actually make social media content pieces and templates. For templates, it will be something, for example, like on Canva, we can make something that you'll be able to reuse in the future. A lot of that is for like communication. For example, if you know, as a business owner, you're likely going to have times off when you have to do travel, things like that throughout the year. So instead of having to tell clients just in person or putting up something on Facebook without really consistency, we can develop something for you that'll have some brand consistency and you can keep reusing in the future in order to be able to post that and just communicate to your clients. Then branding, positioning, we can help you come up with things like some simple color schemes, logo standards, and messaging. And I would say that for small businesses, messaging is the biggest factor here. A lot of small businesses, it's really too early to have a lot of those color palettes and things like that. But it does help just to be consistent. That's what we always say consistency is key. So we can just give you recommendations like these are the specific things you should stick to, but don't invest too much time or money to exactly develop a full brand until you're scaling and expanding. And the customer acquisition and retention, so this is more so for reaching new customers as opposed to the post-sale support. And we can help you figure out different things like how to build loyalty through email follow-ups or reward programs. So we can give you, again, back to the research piece, we can make you a report to where we'll tell you all about all the CRM systems out there and what's best for your business, depends on what you want to store, what your budget is. Then website development. Currently, we don't have a designated website developer person, but we can help you put together the bare structure, pretty much the outline of what a website should look like. We don't have someone that can do all the behind the scenes stuff right now, and also that's very business to business based. So it would be a lot more challenging because we'd have to get like payment information from you. So, but that's something we can still do, and then on a case by case basis, that's something we're very open to talk about and figure out next steps forward. And we can find someone, an NMU who's not a consultant yet in order to be able to help you in some way, shape, or form. And then SEO support, again, we don't have a designated SEO support person, but there's a lot of free or low cost SEO strategies out there. So we can have our consultants try to figure out what words you should include in your websites or whether it's worth it for you to maybe create a blog page and start posting articles that are relevant to your industry so that when people search you up, eventually you will go up in those results. And SEO is search engine optimization. And then finally, financial management. This is things like budgeting and forecasting. We can help you set up financial tools using Excel or QuickBooks to support day-to-day financial management. And also part of this is probably a more strategic piece, but we can help you figure out pricing strategy based on the value that you bring to the customer. And this a lot of the time will build off of the customer discovery piece, as well as of the secondary research we'll do through industry and competitive analysis. So with that, I don't know if we're doing questions now or if we're.
Yeah, might as well. I mean,
Yeah.
you ended it up, so thank you all for coming. Like I said, we've been working with Corey and Sergi for a while, but this is the first time I actually got to see y'all in person. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions for each other, I know there's a lot of potential for some networking here that, to quote one of my favorite shows, I love it when a plan comes together.
Love that show. I hear that line all the time.
There's a method to my madness there.
There you go.
So yeah, if anybody has any questions, we're out here to provide services for each other. As you notice, like a lot of us kind of overlap
Yes.
each other. And from my history, being a 11 years now business owner, it was kind of hard for me to kind of find all of these services that are out there,
Something that you can relate to, and I try to impress my students on. When you're an entrepreneur, you've got three things you gotta worry about. You gotta worry about running your business operations, you gotta worry about the finance, and you gotta worry about marketing. And the one everybody really leaves alone is marketing, because most entrepreneurs think the world's gonna be the pathway to their door, and they don't. And so I would encourage you very, very much that you pick one that you're really good at. 99% of the time, it's the operations, because that's why you're an entrepreneur. I know how to do something. And then you either find a financial person or you find a marketing person, because you cannot do all three. You cannot do all three. You have to pick one that you have to have someone else help you with, which is why in startups, we require teams, because you can't do it alone. You just can't do it alone. So would you like to jump in with that, Robin?
Most of the business programs I've noticed, even when I was going through here, and I was gonna start at tech, a lot of them are group-based, like you said, because everybody brings their strengths to the table. And I know for a while there, you guys had a problem finding marketers for your program.
Everybody has a problem finding marketers.
Yes, so being able to take advantage of all these programs out here for us navigators, Sergi, KBOCC, the SBDC, all of us can pair together to help you all. And just because I may hand you off to one of these guys doesn't mean you're going to leave you hanging. Us navigators will be with you through your whole journey. We're working together to collaborate in case, Sergi can't elaborate on something I can.
And you win, we all win.
Yep.
And to continue it. once you've stopped working with NMU and you're on to the next thing that you're gonna need some assistance with, then Robin can help you find the next resource that's gonna help you develop what you need to.
And like I said, there's all kinds of resources out there. It's just, nobody's ever collaborated before.
Correct.
You know, and I guess that's what was my thought at the beginning when we call this the hub, is like, well, this is kind of what we do. Is we bring all of you together, you know, and we're here to help our students and entrepreneurs. So like I said, I'm here, sign up that form, Tony, Sam, Shayla, sign it up. Even if you don't have a business idea, we call them, what do we call them?
Ideation.
Ideations, you know, and we can start you there from there. Bobby, I know at first when I started working with him, I gave him access to live planning because Bobby's a very smart kid in Hannibal and he has a million ideas of what he wants to do, you know, so he has access to live planning to kind of mess around with what he wanted to do there. I don't know, Bobby, I might have to give you access to live planning again. It's been a while, but you know, it kind of that ideas flow and you have to get them down on paper to make them a reality, you know, and it kind of, I run into business people all the time. I'm sure you do too, like a million ideas going on mouth. Now you're like, you gotta settle on one.
You gotta pick one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and as you talk with any business development group, person, organization, they will tell you, we have some of the best entrepreneurs up in this area. We have inventive, innovative people who have figured out ways to do things that other people don't have to deal with, like with all of this snow. So, what we tend to run into is people who have figured out ways to do things on their own and just do it. They haven't, up until this point, had to take the time to figure out, okay, how do I do this on a larger scale? I just do this. I create my widget, I create my machine, I take care of my people, but there's a point at which you want to build this business, you want to grow this business. And in order to do that, you get into what Corey said, which is you need a hand. And our folks have been working so hard and in just the direction of this is what I do, that they don't realize the amount of help that's out there. And that's what we're trying to bring.
Yeah,
Let
like I
people
said,
know.
11 years
lot
ago
of
when I started my business, I had no idea any of this was out there.
I remember talking to Kim Stoker and talking to him going, where the hell do you start in this community? We didn't have anything back in the early 2010s, nothing. Well, you have SBDC or you have this, or you have this. Well, where do I go?
Right.
You are so fortunate to have this now.
Yeah, and
So-
so we're all here. No question is too stupid.
And what Rhonda and I are working on, which I am beyond excited about, is this is now filtering into the high schools.
Yep.
There's something called Uncharted Learning, which is filtering into the high schools, doing exactly what Rhonda talked about, the business plans, the pitches, all that kind of stuff, because they understand how
took that
to.
class.
Pardon?
I took that class.
You did it?
Yeah.
Did you do it, Rhonda?
Yeah, so we're learning and expanding, go back to that pike tank thing. So I didn't get a chance to tell you about this last night when we were talking. So we are doing the pike tank. So
it's the
students,
third
this is new for this year. So the 3 students that are sitting in the classroom with you right now, they are going to be our pike, like the sharks. And
Mhm.
they will be working with our high school students who are going to be creating their prototypes, their MVPs, their minimum viable products. And we're going to the hub up in Hancock on March 3rd, and the students are presenting them there. And due to snow days and everything, we couldn't get too into everything, but at least we're getting a start. And
Right.
they've had to use the lean canvas model to do all their planning. So,
Have you told
Like-
the Uncharted Learning people this?
I thought Carl has been informed about it. I'm not sure because,
I will inform him.
okay, so yeah, we have been really busy. We have prizes for like, the best, idea, presentation. Breakwater is doing a entrepreneurial event where like the students are gonna be getting a X amount of dollars for their business, and then they're gonna be doing like a little stimulation or simulation, walking about doing things for their business. And then So we have like 3 different things happening during that day. So it should be a really cool entrepreneurial day for students. We're pretty excited about it. We'll see.
You
We're
should
hoping.
be awesome, Rhonda.
She even
Yeah.
wrote me into going up there to be in, what am I doing? I don't even know.
You are showing them what you have for the different businesses that are available to help entrepreneurs. So you're representing the hub. We have somebody from SBD. We have the QNA Bay Chamber. We have Baraga County Chamber. We have 9 different companies that'll be there, and you're doing a bingo event. And so students have to practice their communication skills, and they're gonna be coming up to you, Robin, and talking with you, and they have to get you to say certain entrepreneurial words, but that is up to them to get you to say those words.
Rhonda, you've done this with a broken neck. How the heck is it? What are you gonna do when your neck is healed?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my goodness, I'm so stoked about this.
yeah, so
Promoting.
I was gonna ask you, March 3rd, if you're available, Corey, come on up.
Is that Tuesday?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes. Let me look at my calendar. I might be there.
yeah, and just to top on that, our CTE program, our entrepreneurship program, I had the pleasure to speak to a lot of them students before. I mean, they were, like Corey said, they were in charge of doing their own business plans already out of high school. So, I mean, and our CTE program was probably one of the highest in Michigan,
Was
or
it?
the UP, yeah.
Wow.
Where?
Yeah.
What? How?
Through our local schools, the Copper Country ISD and KBOCC.
Oh my gosh.
I
So,
took the business CTE class last year
Did you?
in my senior year in high school,
Yep.
and it helped me a lot. I did my own business plan.
Yep.
See if it would work, broke down all the numbers, and I got college credit for it, for the thing that I'm going into.
Absolutely. We, Carl Frucht, who is the CEO of Uncharted Learning, and I did the Magical Mystery Tour through Michigan Tech and Copper Country and, the ISD in Marquette. They've had this business out for 13 years. And it literally is what we're talking about, brought down to actually, they're starting it in 4th grade now. But and it's not, what do I want to be when I grow up? It's learning skills to have critical thinking and learning skills on how to start a business and what you need to say and what you need to think about. It doesn't mean you have to be an entrepreneur when you grow up, because that's where I bristled them immediately. And so they get, when they're in very, very wealthy, very, very established suburbs, they get people funding business. There's a woman there's 2 young women in California that created a ramen noodle cup that had a specific unique value proposition. They had over $150,000 in sales. I mean, and they were 16. So this is the kind of stuff you will learn. And I mean, way early for something like CCISD, but you guys, the pipe tank, I love it. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. This is exciting.
Manning in our partners to the SBDC,
Yes.
Kevin and Daniel have had a hand in
Yes.
creating this too, so they should be up there next Tuesday.
Oh,
So
I might have to.
it should
make
be
a road
fun.
trip.
Yeah, who's gonna be up there?
I think so.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Patani's going, shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
gonna
we
be
should
a
be
good
good.
time. It's gonna be a good time. So,
Awesome.
Well, I think this is a very informational part. I mean, we're learning about programs, getting youth in to high
Yep.
schoolers, to
Yep.
college people, all the way up to, you know,
Out of college people,
yes.
mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm. And it's a whole pipeline that we have created and we have potential to create. You know, I mean, your program could hand them off to the high school, the CTE, which could hand them off to the KBOCC, NMU, NPU, and then hand them off to possibly us one day, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
Well, in your new program that you're working with Michigan Tech and us on,
Mhm.
what I like about that is in the real world, business people have to talk to engineers. They have to talk to non-business people. So we're having engineering students work with business students because we know how to do research and stuff like that. They understand the product. And we're going to be working together. So that's even another thing that helps you guys is when I come out in the world, I know how to communicate with an engineer. I know what they're going to need to say. I know what they're going to need to think about. And hopefully vice versa. Hopefully they'll be able to have the engineers have some business speak so that we can talk together. Because otherwise you end up siloed.
have you spoken to many engineers?
They can't talk.
No.
They can't talk.
I mean, there's no engineers in the room, right? But I mean,
But
my experience is like, if you come to talk to them about business or something, they're like,
Right, and my
they're
intent,
more stoic than me.
absolutely. Intent is hopefully they'll be able to learn to
Yeah.
speak and we will be able to talk and go nerding talk.
It is, I mean,
So-
and through business, you have to talk to people, like you said, yeah, I might not be a great marketer, but my son might be, you know?
Right,
I know how to do stuff, you might be good with the numbers, cause me and numbers don't mix.
4 out of 3 people struggle with math.
Don't even get me started. But I think that's our time for today at 1 o'clock. We usually set these things for an hour, so we don't take up too much of your day, so I think we did good.
Oh, this
We want to thank everybody for coming and hope to see you at our next quarterly event. And Robin and I assume Sergi and Corey will stick around and chat if you'd like to for a little bit.
Take some food.
But yeah, take some food.
Yep.
Again, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us online. Bye.
Thanks, Rhonda, thanks, Bobby.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. See you guys soon.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
I wanted to stay home and go James. It's spring break, but I might have to do that.
It'll be fun.